Hello and welcome to part 2 of our trip through the Riverland of South Australia. My name is David Foster. My wife Nolene Magnuson and I travel throughout Australia looking for birds and spectacular scenery to photograph. Join us on our journeys through this great country of Australia. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
It's going to be 30 today.
No, wizard's going to be 30.
Wizard's going to be 30.
Oh, wow. We left Cobdogla and drove through Barmera on our way to Morgan. We stopped at the Overland Corner Hotel, where we had a delicious lunch. Built in 1859, the hotel is one of the oldest buildings in South Australia. It was a major stopping point for travellers, but now it is an isolated backwater off the main roads. It also served as a post office from 1897 to 1913 and has had an up and down life since. New owners took over the hotel in 2020 and is now a very popular destination in the Riverland. On weekend, the hotel is packed with happy diners enjoying the good food and the local beers. Morgan is a lovely little holiday village with a number of attractive old buildings remaining from its heyday. The railway reached the town in 1878 and Morgan developed into the largest inland port in Australia, where goods and produce were transferred from paddle steamers to trains for transport to Adelaide. Sometimes barges were queued up for several hundred metres waiting to unload, and 6 trains a day were making the journey between Morgan and Adelaide. The Riverside Morgue and a new town cemetery were opened in the late 1890s. The first person to be buried there was a Royal Navy surveyor by the name of Harvey, who had speculated as to who would be the first person to be buried. Ironically, he died by drowning in the Murray River on the following day. Between Morgan and Waikerie, we stopped at Cordo Vineyard at Hogwash Bend. This delightful place claims to be the only winery in Australia that is accessible by boat. We had a delicious platter of local Riverland produce for lunch. After booking into the caravan park in Waikerie, we drove along the river's edge to look for birds. Well, we've just been sitting on the banks of the Murray River near Waikerie, watching birds, trying to film some even. Nolin's had a great time. She saw more birds than she did during the entire 3 days that we were at Blue Pot. Quite a successful hour or so. I got up early to photograph the dramatic cliffs opposite the Mays Island Conservation Park. Later we went looking for birds at Hart Lagoon and Ramco Lagoon. There was very little there except for lots and lots of black swans.
Parrots over there, David.
Nolene wanted to do some sketching at Mays Island, so we returned to this pleasant spot by the river. In Waikerie, even the rubbish bins looked like oranges. On our last evening, there was a spectacular sunset and dramatic skies, a portent of the bad weather that was coming. Thank you for watching. Come again next time as we continue our travels along the Murray River.